The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
To recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. And I'm Paige Clarke. Good morning.
Beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. It's 72 degrees, going up to about 89, and we're in the summer pattern. So we're ready for it, though, aren't we?
That's right, and we're ready for your questions, too. So if you have any questions, please contact me, Paige at TFNN.com.
And me, Nico, at TFNN.com. We are also taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648.
Nico, what'd you do this weekend? You got into the bushes a little bit, huh?
I
Doing
got
a little
into the
yard
bushes.
work on Memorial Day weekend.
Well, actually, I did that last Monday, a week before.
Oh.
And about Thursday, I started getting a rash and knew immediately it was poison oak, which I had got hit with a couple of times before, but not like this. And I had survived poison ivy when I was a kid. An interesting thing about poison ivy, and I think this applies to poison oak too, is that once you get rid of it, it kind of stays in your body if you don't detox a lot.
Well, that's a really important point that you just made, because that's what we need to understand, that what drugs do, they mask symptoms, but it doesn't remove the toxin.
Yeah.
Whereas homeopathy, a natural medicine that really our country and world was built on, removes the source and goes deeper. So it's real important. And I think some things we're going to talk about indicate that actually happens. And I think this is a great show today for us, because we just got through Memorial Day weekend. Hope you all had a really healthy, fun Memorial Day. But here we are between Memorial Day, we're into the peak of the summer. We've got the 4th of July coming up and so forth. So we wanted to kind of talk about those outdoor activities today. You know, sunscreens, how to be healthy in the sun, how to get rid of poison oak.
Yeah. And my experience was when I was a kid, I had poison ivy, and once I got rid of it, it seemed to come back about every year around the same time for about maybe 7 years. The last couple of years, not very much, but the spots would always come up where I got it. This time I got it, I was gardening, and I saw this vine creeping up, and I just pulled it. Luckily, I had gloves on. It's not in my hands, but it got me all the way down my arm and a little bit on the other arm. Of course, in the evening, a lot of times I'll take a sauna, and had a sauna, and that actually made it a little worse. But I thought we'd talk about this because, like you said, it's between holidays and a lot of things are happening. Now we're going out in the bush a little bit more, especially up north.
So how do you avoid it? Best is avoidance.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. Don't go around
Don't go doing so much yard work.
That's right.
But you know, it's funny too, because I grew up, I was always a tomboy girl, you know, and I was always in the woods and stuff. Somehow or another, I never got it. I cannot believe I didn't.
Lucky
girl. I was
girl.
always pulling things. But yeah, from what I know, it is really quite something, and usually has about a 2-week track. And like you said, sometimes the heat and so forth can actually pull it out. And so let's talk a little bit about the strategies that you're going through as you're trying to get this resolved.
Yeah, of course, the itching is really bothersome, you know, and it's a deep itch, and you can't, if you scratch it, you make it worse, and it'll spread naturally. What I found really does help is icing it.
Right.
That really does help. It takes the inflammation away for like a couple hours, and then you have to redo it.
And that makes sense, because in Chinese medicine, it's a sign of heat and moisture. So a heat and moisture problem, and it's coming to the surface. So when you apply the opposite, yin-yang, you're going to get some results.
Yeah, in fact, the heat will drive it in further, and the cold will actually take it out. And now this plant has 3 almond-shaped leaflets that grow together. That's how you can define it. It's called leaves of 3. Let them be.
Yeah, let them be. That little thing. It's like red on black, friend of Jack.
Right, that's for the coral snake.
Red on yellow, kill a fellow. Yep. Oh, you know, those little wives' tale things are important.
Yep. and if you can remember it when the snake is in front of you, that's really important. So some of the other things take several hours for the symptoms to appear. Mine really didn't appear until probably 2 or 3 days later. I had a little itch, didn't know what it was, and then all of a sudden I go, uh-oh, and then I remembered I was in the lawn. I was in the bushes, deep in the bushes.
So, let's say this. You go and you go to a doctor. What does the doctor do? They give you a diagnosis, something like contact dermatitis, which sounds fancy for you've been in contact with something that's caused an irritation in your skin. And, the typical course may be cortisone creams, steroids, and antihistamines.
Yeah.
Again, things that will alleviate the symptoms but may not actually help you resolve that poison exposure.
No, I think the cortisone actually just that kind of masks it a little bit. You feel a little bit better, but it really doesn't help you heal.
Mm-hmm. Here's the point. All this will mask the underlying issues and drive the poison into your body where it will be stored and might surface years later. Plus, you'll then be asking your body to eliminate the steroid and the cortisone creams. Mm-hmm. So let's look at some of the things that you're doing naturally to help yourself recover from this. So you mentioned that you've been icing, and we also know that as opposed to heat and wetness, things that are astringent, like witch hazel and apple cider vinegar. You might not like smelling like apple cider vinegar. You could even add a few drops of lavender, but you can make a little mister and spray on there as it starts to itch.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. Also, slimy elm bark is good for drawing the thistles and the splinters out of your body. And you can't really see them, but they're there, and that's what makes them itch. Of course, avoid heat. I made the mistake of going for an infrared sauna, thinking it would help drive some of the poisons, but actually, upon reading, I found out that it was making it worse. So that's not good.
Hey, I'm going to say take a bath.
Yeah.
And you can put lots of great things in the bath to be healing and to help you. It can be a tepid bath.
I
maybe
found
not so
my
hot.
swimming pool actually helps too.
Oh, sure.
It's about 90 degrees right now, so it's not cool by any standard, but it's a lot cooler than the air, and it does feel good. And of course, I have a salt pool. I do the chlorine by salt, so actually the salt will help dry it out a little bit too.
So in your bath, you could put coconut milk, coconut water, Epsom salts. Any of the salts, Himalayan, Epsom, again, they're going to have that drying and drawing effect.
Yeah. It says add a tablespoon of slippery elm powder to a bucket of water and soak the infected areas. This relieves the itch almost instantly and lasts for an hour or two.
That's interesting because slippery elm bark, I was sharing with you, is a really important herbal remedy for colon and soothing the colon and making sure things happen. I like the way the name kind of explains slippery elm. But that kind of gives you an idea. If it decreases rash and irritation, what do you think's maybe happening where we can't see? So these things have multi-purposes.
It says combine oatmeal and water in a blender and then cover the infected area with the paste, let it dry, and then rinse off with cool water. You can also make a mask of some kind.
Baking soda, aloe, a paste, anything that will kind of be cool and drawing, I think would be helpful to you.
Apple cider vinegar, like you said. Treat the inflammation, the conflicting opinions about the use of ice, but ice really helped me a lot. In fact, last night, I went to bed pretty early, and about 3 hours later, I woke up and I was itching like crazy. And then I put some of the calamine on it. That didn't seem to help it, so I laid out and put an ice pack on the areas, and maybe for about 15 minutes, and then I was able to fall asleep.
Well, I know you're getting ready to go on your trip, so I'm looking forward to this getting better for you, and you find the resolutions, but we'll be right back after this short break.
And the number here is 877-927-6648. Please pick up our Primal Edge and our Health Signals newsletter next week while I'm gone. We'll have a new one out here for you. And you got some great guests coming up next week.
That's right.
Cool.
Yes.
We'll be right back, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. This is Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We're really talking about summertime problems that come up.
Summertime fun, but summertime
there's
problems.
Certain things, and I want to talk about bugs because, of course, the Zika virus is in the news, and they're linking that to mosquitoes. Whether they are or not, I don't think we really know because Zika's been around a long time. And mosquitoes have been around a long time.
I think Zika virus is more related to vaccines, but
well, vaccines could be one. The other thing is the use of poisons in the environment. These areas in Brazil, I know there was a lot of reports that they're using pesticides and fertilizers, and also using different things like pregnant women were given a certain certain vaccination, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, they were vaccinated, and also a lot of the Zika is showing up in places where they actually released mosquitoes, and God knows how they bred those mosquitoes. But getting to this point, natural bug repellents can actually be more effective and much safer than the chemical cousins, so to speak. And these biting insects can dampen your summer fun, but we want you to know that you can find safe and effective bug deterrent remedies, and you can make them yourself.
Yeah, Consumer Reports really says that only about 1/3 believe the products are safe on the market and for adults, and only about 23% of these products on the market for getting rid of the mosquitoes and biting insects are considered safe for kids. So you really have to be careful with children.
And it's justified, folks, because the chemical DEET, which has been used in hundreds and hundreds of over-the-counter mosquito repellent preparations and so forth, has been shown to cause human brain and nervous system function. And children are particularly at a risk of this, folks. So we want to look to something that doesn't hurt us because, again, as we know, our skin is our largest organ, and anything we put on our skin, we are, in effect, ingesting. So it was interesting, Nico, because, as an aromatherapist, I really encourage people, just as I was sharing with you about spraying on your skin for the poison oak and ivy, you can make your own healthy repellents with simply a base of witch hazel that you can buy at your grocery store, and then add a couple of certain essential oils. And here's a little bit of a study that was done on the two top performing essential oils were eucalyptus lemon eucalyptus, also citronella. Citronella is the species. And there was another substance called picaridin. Now, interestingly, I had never heard of picaridin.
I haven't either.
Picaridin is a synthetic chemical made from black pepper. Okay, so I said, why don't you just buy essential oil of black pepper? Usually, any time the pharmaceutical company is looking for a way to make billions, they take something in nature and they alter it. And, let's hope that this does, in fact, turn out to be a safe alternative, because I would rather see picaridin as a chemical additive to sunscreens than some of these others. And according to the overall assessment by the Environmental Working Group, which is a trusted source for safety, right now they show that the picaridin is a good DEET alternative with many of the same advantages, well, the same disadvantages. But if you'd like to really help get rid of your bugs and have a safe spray made, look at lemon eucalyptus, citronella, and black pepper, and you can have a great deterrent right there.
Yeah, and some people aren't as susceptible to getting bitten as other people. I know I don't get bitten as much as my wife does when we're out, but
I think it has a little bit to do with there's been some thoughts that the hormones, affect it, and also possibly blood sugar levels at certain times could affect things.
So let's talk about DEET, because this is used in most of the over-the-counter things, and about 30% of Americans use DEET every year. But there's reasons why you shouldn't use them. And
it scares me because so many people are more afraid of the sprays than the bugs, because they're being told about all these viruses being spread by the bugs. But I feel that their risk is much higher exposing their skin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sad.
Well, of course, in children, the most frequent reported symptoms of DEET toxicity reported to the Poison Control Centers were lethargy, headaches, tremors, involuntary movements, and I guess that's a big tremor, seizures and convulsions, things like rashes, skin mucus, membrane irritation, transient numbing or burning of the lips, dizziness, disorientation, difficulty concentrating. These are all similar things, headaches and nausea. And also, where's this one from the Duke University Medical Center here? They're saying...
they're saying the same thing, but another potentially harmful...
memory loss, headaches, muscle fatigue, shortness of breath, muscle pain, joint pain, and tremors.
Well, another potentially harmful chemical that you're seeing a lot of sprays is permethrin. And that's used for head lice a lot. Permethrin shampoos are used to get rid of head lice. And it's a member of this synthetic pyrethroid family, all of which are neurotoxic. Can you imagine how people, and I went through it too. I'm telling you, all my kids got exposed to head lice. There was a head lice scare at school, and we all went and bought those permethrin, and God, it's right there on our heads by the neurotoxins.
Right,
I wish I had known more now that there's some other ways to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, there's lots of non-chemical options to keep bugs away, while you're having fun in the summer, and we want to have fun in our summer. And,
well, you've got these diffusers that my wife uses outside. You've got certain candles, I think, that you can
Citronella
burn.
candles, which is basically the lemon citrus eucalyptus. And, here are some tips. Here's some tips. These are called the 3 Ds of protection to prevent mosquito breeding on your property, because really it's just like anything else. The ones that are going to be biting you are the ones that have set up households on your property.
Right.
And that's drain. Mosquitoes require water in which to breed.
Yeah.
So you need to walk around your house. Sometimes there's that garbage can lid that's unflipped up and the water's kind of pooled there, or some other reason.
Some pots that don't have holes in it. There's a lot of places, certainly. Swimming pool, I think, is okay. So
yes, I think the chlorine and stuff keeps them away.
And you have pet bowls, and you have gutters, garbage cans, like you said.
Bird baths even.
Spare tires, another one. Those things are laying all around. The other thing you can do is dress light colors, and cover as much skin as you can.
That's true. And then defend. While the AMCA recommends using commercial repellents, as we just discussed, we really recommend that you take a look at some of the natural alternatives and stay away from these chemical repellents, as we, essentially are eating anything we put on our skin, and try some of these natural alternatives.
Yeah. Now, body temperature and skin chemicals like lactic and acid attract mosquitoes, which explains why you're more likely to be eaten alive when you're sweaty and during exercise or after exercise. So try to stay as cool as you can. And some of the other things you can do.
Oh, this is an important one.
Yep.
I just remembered this.
Okay.
They say that mosquitoes, that they found that a deficiency of B1 is a sign. You know, these are people that are going to get bit by the mosquitoes
Yeah,
if
they're
you're
attracted
deficient in
to
thiamine.
those people.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Some experts recommend actually supplementing B1 during the summer months from April. Obviously, if you're taking the Primal Edge, you don't have to worry about it because you're getting your B1 in there in
Here's
absorbable
some other
form.
things. Cinnamon leaf oil. One study found it more effective at killing mosquitoes than DEET.
Yeah, I as an aromatherapist, I caution skin. You know, if they're talking about skin, they don't state here. But I think
would think so.
cinnamon, there's safer oils, the eucalyptus, as we mentioned earlier. Clear liquid vanilla extract mixed with olive oil. Hey, that would smell pretty good. So
Yeah.
if you're using that as maybe a sunscreen, wash with citronella soap and then put 100% pure citronella essential oil on your skin. We talked about that. And catnip oil.
A lot of cool stuff.
Yes, you need a lot of cool stuff to stay cool in the summer and bug-free. But we've got to take a little break, so we'll see you shortly. Give us a call.
877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Paige Clarke with Nico Haan, and Nico and I are talking about summer fun. And what's in your sunscreen, folks, could be worse than not using a sunscreen at all. And I really, really believe this is turning up to be the case as we're starting to see more and more research that the chemicals that they're using in sunscreens really have neurotoxic effects on our body. And as we've discussed anything you put on your skin, you should be willing to put in your mouth. And if that's not the case, if there's more ingredients than you can pronounce, maybe you should take a second look. There are lots of companies that are now producing safe sunscreens. In fact, popular sunscreens contain an alarming number of toxins, but this week, the Environmental Working Group, EWG, released their 2016 Guide to Safe Sunscreens, which includes a list of which chemicals to look out for and their top picks for the safest brands and products.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And I think it's really important, again, as we look at our children, as people are slathering this on to our children and not really aware, they're kind of been subjected to the marketing. I was surprised to see they put together a list of the worst scoring kids sunscreens. Guess who were on the top of those? Banana Boat and Coppertone made the top of the list.
Yeah.
But it was filled with other household brand names too. So make sure you check that list.
Yeah, so we also have some recipes for our own homemade stuff, but let's go over.
I made my own, I told you.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to disclose it because it might be a big seller, but I've been testing it out on myself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's easy to do.
So there's 6 toxins to avoid in sunscreens here.
Yeah, well, one of the top ones that you'll see on the ingredients list is oxybenzone, and this chemical absorber, filters the UV light, and is therefore a common ingredient in sunscreens, despite its, high risk of allergies. A lot of people have allergies to this.
It also penetrates.
Oh, yeah.
Penetrates the skin at a very high rate, and it acts like estrogen once it enters the bloodstream.
Ooh, not something we want.
Disrupts the whole system. Yeah.
Yeah, reducing sperm production and potentially causing endometriosis.
That can't be good.
Yeah, and I shudder to think of all the years early, especially in my 30s, I was really thought sunscreen was something I used it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And,
we used to use, up in Canada, just baby oil with a little iodine in it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say to you.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we talk about safe sunscreens. But again, here are some chemical soups. Again, if the name is something hard to pronounce, perhaps it's something you don't want to put on your skin. Octinoxate.
That's absorbed through the skin and also disrupts your endocrine system by mimicking the hormone activity that can affect the reproductive system and the thyroid.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Retinol palmitate is a form of vitamin E, and this chemical is used in a large number of sunscreens. And and it's believed that vitamin A can actually slow skin aging, but when exposed to sunlight, just like many other fat-soluble vitamins, it has been shown to speed the development of malignant cells and skin tumors because the UVA causes the compound to break down and produce free radicals, damaged fats. Vitamin A is a fat.
There's a product called homosalate.
Yeah.
Common ingredient also helps sunscreen penetrate your skin and disrupts the hormone balances. Can accumulate in your body also, so it's detoxified through the liver.
Yeah,
So
octocrylline. This is yet another ingredient that easily absorbs in the skin and produces free radicals. Are you seeing the pattern here?
Yeah, and then there's parabens, which are synthetic compounds that are added to cosmetics and body products because they prevent the growth of fungus and bacteria.
Yeah, they're dangerous because many of the ingredients, they disrupt the hormone functions. And I think we've heard this over and over again. When we apply these chemicals that are on the skin, we're really going to interfere with our endocrine system, our hormone system, and I don't think any of us want to do that. Yeah. So let's talk about 3 safe alternatives, and maybe we'll expound on a few of our own. I want to get back to your the old body oil, and we'll talk about how that might actually be working.
And some of these I haven't even heard of. Keys Solar RX Sunblock. This sunscreen is free of toxins because it uses zinc oxide as the physical sun blocker, which is really probably one of the safer products to use.
It is, yeah. So that's a product, I think that's a specific product. Keys Solar RX Sunblock, you might want to check that out. And Babo Botanicals. Babo's sunscreen product also uses zinc oxide as a physical sunblock and are certified organic, preservative-free, and designed for babies, children, and adults. And then finally, Going Bare is another brand. If you're going to be outdoors for a short period of time, actually that's just consider going sunscreen free. That's not actually a product. It's just Going Bare is a good idea. Actually, our skin is designed to absorb, and we need to absorb sun to make vitamin D. One of my suggestions is that when we are in the sun, to apply some moisture of water and then put a natural oil more on the saturated side so it doesn't get rancid, and enjoy a little bit of that moisture. Sealing the water in is really beneficial. But when you mentioned that about iodine and baby oil, in looking back at that now, I think it's a great idea to put the iodine, because I believe iodine is actually, first of all, we're all deficient in it. Secondly, it's actually a universal antioxidant. It's an antibacterial. And it's actually been used in anti-aging. If you Google iodine and anti-aging, it's rather interesting. Now, the baby oil, on the other hand, that's a mineral oil. It's not absorbed and used in the skin. I feel that I would prefer to use another oil that's saturated, good for the skin, and you could use any of it.
Coconut oil or something?
Yeah, coconut oil. Coconut oil, and again, kind of melts and then it solidifies and so forth. Avocado, exactly.
Would be really
and
nice
I've been
cooling.
messing with a bunch of different oils, and then also putting some antioxidant in it to protect it.
Well, Dr. Axe had put us together his own formula here, and I've got it up, and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to make. 10 drops of lavender, a tablespoon of pomegranate oil, 3/4 of a cup of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of zinc oxide, 2 tablespoons of shea butter,
Right.
and a glass jar to put it all in.
And that's the perfect thing, folks. You really can make, if you look at your skincare products as something that you make in your kitchen, you'll be in good shape, because don't put anything on your skin that you wouldn't eat. And if you go in your kitchen, you can change your skin oils and have different scents based on what you want to do.
How they make this is those products are put into a little jar, and you combine all the ingredients together except the zinc oxide. You place a saucepan with 2 inches of water, kind of like you're making the chocolate thing, and you put it over medium-low heat. Place the jar in a saucepan and stir contents until the ingredients start to melt. And then
That's because the coconut oil is solid,
Right. And then you put the zinc oxide and stir well and store in a cool place, and then you can use that. So that's a pretty cool one.
Oh, yeah, and I think that avocado oil, as you mentioned, is also a great oil.
Yeah,
We're
it might
learning a
even
lot.
be better because people are allergic to nut oils. So if you want to, I mean, as good as coconut oil is, it's not the end all. And avocado oil is a great oil to use too.
And I like mixing it up. There's some benefits to using a lot of oils, the synergies, the quantum effect. Sometimes using things, you get a better effect. Using a little bit of, I like the astaxanthin, because astaxanthin, the fat-soluble antioxidant, which is the red pigment that you see in salmon and flamingos and lobsters, is a wonderful internal sunscreen. So this is a great time of year to start taking astaxanthin capsules, 4 to 8 milligrams, and take those daily. But I experimented with it in my own homemade, so it turned my oil that I was making this weekend that had iodine in it, so it actually kind of created a bronzy red look, an Indian tan. So I'm gonna work on that formula a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it'll
Send
be.
it to Donald Trump. He needs that. He's not orange enough, is he?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can let him try it out.
Yeah, exactly. Folks, stick around. We got another segment coming up. Of course, please take a look at our Primal Edge and order that. It's $89 a month. Will get it to your door, and it's really something that you need to stay healthy. That with a good diet is all you really need. And listen to the show, of course, and pick up my new newsletter. Got a new one coming out next week. We'll be right back, folks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We're talking about summer things with bugs and sunscreen, and now we're going to grilling.
Yeah, we want to talk about grilling and chilling. That's what we're going to do all summer long. We hope you will, too.
Yes, we are. And we want to talk about grilling because there's a lot of things that can actually go wrong in your cooking if you make it the wrong way. And there's a lot of toxic chemicals that come from briquettes and things like that.
Yeah, it's called heterocyclic amines, or HCAs. And folks, this is what we hear about when we talk about the grilling of meat, these toxic chemicals and byproducts. But the truth is, you can do certain things to help reduce these toxic chemicals over 50%. And it's as simple as starting with marinating your meat. And I see this is probably something you do. I know you grill a lot, don't you?
Well, I use the broiler in the house too, but yeah, we do grill. It's the thing is of course you can make a lot of things ahead of time. In other words, partially cook, so you can still get that grilling taste and put it on a real high heat for just a couple of minutes, and the steak comes out very nice. So
when we talk about marinades, I just had a thought, because we know that marinades that have like apple cider vinegar in them are very effective at lowering these HCAs up to maybe, say, 50%. You said pre-cooking. That's really what something with a probiotic,
exactly.
with a microbiotic does.
Yeah,
the apple cider vinegar, the probiotics in it, the bacteria, healthy bacteria in it, are starting to break down the meat fibers for us. So that's a beautiful thought.
It is.
But we want to make sure when you make these marinades, we don't want you to go buy those rows and rows of factory-produced marinades. So I want to see if anyone tells us in the chat room, why would we not want to buy the bottled marinades? Because they're probably made from what? Soy oil.
Yeah, soy oil is one. It could be just bad chemicals.
Bad chemicals, high fructose corn syrup, toxic sugars. Make your own marinades and enjoy it, just like you can make your own sunscreen, come up with your own concoctions. Use what's in your kitchen and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and of course all these articles that we're talking about will show up in the newsletter.
That's
coming
great.
up. Not the next one, but the one after that. I'm usually about 2 weeks behind. But I want you to be able to do your own research on these things, so it'll sink in for a couple of weeks, and you can kind of think about it. And then if you get the newsletter, you can actually see what we're talking about and where we get this news from, because then you can dig deeper yourself if you want to.
And our newsletter has great links, so you don't have to worry about where we've found this research. You can link and go further down the rabbit hole. But talking about a marinade, opt for thin vinegar or lemon juice-based marinades. How easy is that? Some vinegar, apple cider vinegar, some lemon, rich in herbs and spices. Play around with it. Have fun. Pick your favorites. You may exactly want to add turmeric and garlic, because those are two spices that have good evidence on lowering these damaging chemicals.
Yeah. Now, one of the things, too, of course, you have to start with really good food. And that's one of the biggest problems. So if you're cooking with factory-formed meat, you're making one of the biggest grilling mistakes there is. Drugs are common in these, in the agriculture today. They're harmful medications that are in these cows. It's not really a good scenario any way you look at it. And there's a different inspection services that detect medications like
ivermectin, which is an animal worm, or flunixin, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, penicillin, and ciprofloxacin, which is Cipro, the fluoride-based drugs. Folks, when we start cooking these foods, we're ingesting these. So as you know on this show, although we suggest that animal foods are part of a healthy diet. It's about eating the right parts of the animal, of which we don't really eat enough of. And it's also about making the right choices of where these are harvested and grown. So we really want to make those points.
Yeah, for sure. I've often thought that just because you're burning the meat doesn't necessarily mean that it's carcinogenic. A lot of people say that. And I really think that probably...
It's what's in the meat.
It's what's in the meat is more important because, a little charcoal on top. We use charcoal from husks to take poisons out of our body. So is this a natural way of your body, because the meat is burned and you eat some of that, it may be taking some of those toxins out.
All those drugs that these animals are being fed. It's like one of my mentors, Daniel Pompa, says, Dr. Daniel Pompa, it's not the meat, it's what we do to the meat. So remember, if you're grilling meat, always choose grass-fed organic options and choose organic veggies to grill along with it.
Yeah, now I see a lot of people when they're, if they're using baked potatoes or even if they're grilling fish, they grill it in some tin foil.
Aluminum.
Aluminum
Heavy metal.
foil, yeah. Not a good idea, folks. Wrapping potatoes or even fish in aluminum oil is a with a dollop of butter is a fast, easy way to cook on the grill. But the problem is the aluminum foil has been shown to leak when exposed to high temperatures. And of course, on the grill, you're using high temperatures.
And the World Health Organization is showing that we have extremely high levels of aluminum, between the aluminum foil, aluminum cookware that restaurants use. Many of them don't have high quality.
Fluoride in the water from aluminum.
Yeah, but and the aluminum in the sprays that are being used for weather manipulation has caused astronomical aluminum levels. It's very important that you work with someone knowledgeable in helping you to clean your body of that, because we have, I call it lipotoxicity. That's my new word. Lipotoxicity, that's fat toxicity. So we're storing all these toxins in our fat. And we need to learn how to release them. And that's what I'm really focusing my work on now.
Yeah. A 2011 study published in the Internal Journal of Electrochemical Science also found that exposing food in aluminum foil to heat causes leaching to occur in levels that could be considered unacceptable by the World Health Association.
And this is the number 4. You use non-stick cookware. Non-stick cookware is a chemical soup itself. These non-stick grilling accessories, the grates, the griddle pads, the pans, the mats, all this non-stick cookware has chemicals in it that have been linked to obesity, abnormal thyroid hormones, and toxicity to brain, liver, prostate, and kidneys. It may require more elbow grease during cleanup, but skip the non-stick cookware and use ones without the chemical cookware.
And really, good pans are a godsend. Stainless steel is still questionable.
And a lot of people don't understand how to use their stainless steel. Like some younger folks I've talked with say, oh, I always have things stick to it. It's really important that you preheat the pan. If you get the pan hot and then add your food, but if you just slap the pan on there, warm it up, and then put your food in, you're going to get sticking. It's when you get it hot, take some water and go, psh, and if the water bounces off of it, you've got it hot.
Good choices are ceramic. Cast iron is another great one. I cooked with cast iron for
I've got seasoned cast iron pans that my family has had.
They last for hundreds and hundreds of years.
They're like family heirlooms.
And I now cooking mostly ceramic, non-toxic ceramic stuff, and that works really well. And the same thing, you heat it up a little bit first so it doesn't stick as much. And it's really easy to take.
And a final tip is you fail to pre-cook. The American Institute for Cancer Research highly recommends pre-cooking meat before firing it on the grill. This helps reduce drippings on the grill. Again, we are going to say, is it the drippings that are toxic, or is it the meat that we're buying at the big box stores, which is not organic, and it's factory farmed and fed antibiotics and pesticides and so forth, been eating grass that's been sprayed with Roundup? Is it those chemicals that are burning in the drippings? These can be turning into polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So partially cooking your meat on the stove, maybe parboiling it. Is that what they're saying? Kind of like
you can actually put it on the grill inside for a little while, but boiling it is a real good way. And then you're halfway there. And in fact, there's a lot of recipes that really call for that when you're cooking duck and things like that. So.
I really love crock pot cooking. I cooked a great roast this weekend, and that's kind of a nice low. Take it low and slow, and maybe we don't have all that
stuff. We had
stuff.
pork tips in our crock pot this weekend too.
Very
they were
nice.
Fabulous.
Got to take a break here for a second, folks.
We've got a few more things to say, so stick around, please. The number here is 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Welcome back. I kind of want to get right into some questions we had on the chat room. We're living a primal lifestyle. We're talking about grilling and chilling and staying healthy and having fun and comfortable during these summer months. And we had a comment that maybe the drippings created a lot of great flavor and the lean steaks don't taste as good or as tender, especially when grilled with charcoal. And Nico, I don't know, maybe you can talk to this a little bit more, but one of the things I like to suggest to my clients is when you're using leaner grass-fed, and grass-fed meat is leaner in appearance, but there are still some fattier cuts. You can get the fattier cuts of grass-fed.
Ribeyes.
The ribeyes and the chuck roast. Let me tell you something. You take a chuck roast and pan-sear it just to kind of brown a little bit. Stick it in the crock pot before you leave for work. When you come home, it'll be, I call it mulch. Mulch?
Oh, yeah.
It just comes apart with your fork. But pre-marinating, as we said, with some of these delicious spices is a great way. to help those little microbes in, say, apple cider vinegar and so forth to help break down those muscle fibers and make the meat more tender. So I encourage people to do a little at-home marinating.
Okay.
So,
we think of aging as something we do alone. The change is unfolding according to each person's own traits and experiences. But researchers are learning that as we age in relationships, we change biologically to become more like our partners than we were in the beginning.
how cool is that? Long-time couples get in sync in sickness and in health. And it's really fascinating because they looked at married couples who were together less than 20 years and couples that were together for more than 50. And the colleagues all found striking similarities between partners who have spent decades together, especially in their kidney function, in their total cholesterol levels, in the strength of their grip, which is a key predictor of mortality. They presented their findings at the annual meeting of the Gerontological Society of America. Now, when I hear about those key findings, that could also indicate kidney, cholesterol. Most likely they've been together eating the same foods together.
Yeah.
Right?
And doing similar activities.
Doing the similar activities, levels of fitness and so forth. So very fascinating.
It makes me think of something that maybe if we have a general practitioner that we were going to see, maybe as a couple we should at least have a consultation so together we're examined in a way.
And that's one of the things they suggest here.
Oh,
that
really?
They suggest, I'm trying to find it here. It says it's like finishing each other's sentences, but it's your muscles and cells that are now operating in sync. Well, that doesn't surprise me one bit because I believe that we are really, that it's really cellular communication that is a big part of it.
Looking at married couples who were together less than 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
Is that the one?
Yeah,
Okay.
But they often said, I saw it somewhere here, but they did mention that they suggest that people take a look at their partners. If they're, one partner's having some trouble, kind of see what's going on because of the similarities.
Well, certainly you hear a lot of times when some people have been together for many, many years and then one passes away and almost immediately the other one starts going into that direction too.
How about that? True cell resonance. It says they also found the effects crossed over from not just physical similarities, but from the the mental side. And in other words, increases in feelings of depression in one spouse led to more daily task limitations or depression in the other one. So
They also found that the effects cross over from mental to physical, which is cool. Yeah, this is something I think we've known instinctively, and I've been with Ellen for 21 years, and can hardly imagine any life without her. And
couples that play together stay together.
Yeah, and maybe it is better that way if you decide to go together.
Well, and that's great because they said the implications for health care are really clear. People in relationships don't experience chronic health problems on their own. When a spouse comes in with a problem, the other spouse could be a part of the cause or part of the solution.
Yeah.
So that's good news, that we can really encourage each other and work together to stay healthier. And this was actually interesting. It was written by a graduate student, freelance science writer in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah,
That's kind of neat.
that? Yeah, I think it's cool. It's,
Lindsay Peterson.
It's really something how couples that stay together, it's really a special thing. That's for sure. I saw it in my parents. I'm seeing it now with my wife. And of course, close friends are the same way.
That's right.
There's a hole when they're not there anymore, for sure. Thanks for sticking around, folks.
Thanks for seeing the show. We'll see you next time. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.